I'm Phil and I'm from Germany. My wife Deanna is from the United States, and in this video we're gonna talk about 10 German things that my American wife does nowadays. So almost 3 years ago we did this video the other way around. German things my boyfriend does, that was me, and I do some very German things. However, for the last couple of years, over the pandemic and everything, we lived in Germany. And lo and behold, over time Deanna picked up some very German behaviors, and I think it's super funny. She is becoming one of us now. So Deanna, American wife, can you please come in here?
What have I become?
One of us. And very quick disclaimer, guys, I'm not saying that these characteristics are exclusively German, because we all are pretty similar, right? So let us know if they apply to your country as well. But here we go.
We'll see how German these things are.
Point number one that I'm noticing is food related, and it is that you are eating way more bread and potatoes than you ever did.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've eaten way more potatoes in these past 2.5 years than my entire life. And my family growing up cooked like meat and potatoes at least like a few times a month, but we just eat them all the time here. Phil likes to mash them, we fry them, we slice them, we dice them. We just have potatoes in all shapes. It's a little
Beautiful.
funny.
No, it's beautiful is what you're trying to say.
Beautiful.
You love him, right? Admit it.
Yeah, I like potatoes.
I never loved you more in my life. It's such a German
No.
stereotype, right? We love potatoes.
We've also started to look at other country recipes, like French and Spanish recipes to cook potato dishes from those countries as well. We're expanding just because this guy likes potatoes so much.
And I think bread, your love for bread is a little less, but it's increased definitely, right?
Yeah, I still don't think we eat a lot of bread in general, but I
We're
eat a lot
trying
of
not to.
bakery items. In the US, I didn't have a local bakery accessible all the time like I do here in Germany, so I have a little too many Kuchen slices.
Yeah. We're trying not to, but it's hard everywhere.
Tastes so good.
Right, point number two that I noticed is that you keep increasingly complaining about the weather.
I just spit.
Which is the German national sport, to complain about the weather.
And also, when you apply for your residency, they ask you if you like the German weather, and you have to say no. It's
Yeah, that's the only right answer.
Wetter.
The only right answer. No, I hate it.
No, I hate it. It's horrible. It's not really small talk. It's just people like to complain about the weather here.
Because it's pretty crappy.
Kind of gray and rainy for a lot of the year. But when the sun's out, I really like Germany during the summertime. It's my favorite time to be here.
Yeah, so yeah, you should really complain about the weather a lot if you want to become very German, like very standard.
It's a requirement.
Okay, point number three is something that I did my entire life, and I found it so funny when you pointed that out in the beginning, and it's buying groceries and price related. You're not only looking at the overall price, you're looking for the best.
Preis-Leistung-Verhältnis.
Exactly, the price-performance ratio.
I don't think you can claim this as Germany changing me for this. I definitely had this growing up, like my family instilled this more so. It's just that I think you might think that because I used to make way more money, so I think my spending was higher, but it was always still proportionate, and I would never buy like the most expensive thing to buy the most expensive or the cheapest. I always looked for a good value as well.
That's true, but you're paying a little more attention here now.
No, I think it's just a bit. We like to look at like a good Preis-Leistung-Verhältnis. Yeah, I like how there's a word for it, and it's so ingrained throughout the German culture.
I think it's very German that Germans are very on the savvy side, like they're trying to save.
The Preis-Leistung-Verhältnis thing, looking for the best value, is one of the things that made me fall in love with you. I think it was really nice to have someone who is conscious and aware, because you meet people who are just blowing their savings or overly frugal. I think it's nice to have a good balance. I think our priorities with spending usually align, not always, but usually. So
that's true. I wish we were a little more loose with the money, but we don't have a lot, so that's why we're not.
Would rather, yeah.
So you're welcome.
I can't give you a compliment anymore. No. No. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It does help us and our channel. And if you like these videos, please consider subscribing. We have a city tour video coming out next week. Some city in Germany. Let me know if you can guess which city it is. And if you want to further support us, you can do that on patreon.com/Deanna and Phil. We make additional videos there. And I want to give a quick shout out to our newest family level patron, Julia Fangruber. I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you so much for your support, and back to the video.
All right, point number 4 is something that all the Germans do, especially when they watch videos like this. We like to complain about Americans or American habits, and I think you do that a lot with especially 2 things. It's A, the value-added tax on like goods and groceries,
Like
whatever.
sales tax.
And B, I think it's the US tipping culture that you learned to hate too now.
Ah, okay. I think anyone who's not in the US likes to complain about this because the rest of the world usually has prices advertised as is. Like if you go to Thailand and it's 100 baht, it's going to be 100 baht. There's no tax added after the fact.
When we met, it was the most normal thing to you.
Yeah.
Coming from America. It was so normal. The tipping culture, huge tipping, doesn't matter how good the service is.
I think that still
the
is,
tax
yeah.
added. I remember when you went to something and wanted to buy something, I'm like, it's $4.99, and you just had 5 euros and you were like nervous that it might not be enough. I was like, it's $4.99.
Well, it's because
not more.
It's because in the US the taxes are added afterwards. So if you want to go to Walmart and buy a $20 foldable chair, it's going to be $20 and then some tax percentage depending on the state and the city. And that's not normal throughout the rest of the world. Usually it's the price listed as the only amount you pay.
Yeah, so you learn to like the German way, am I right?
Yeah, I think the German way, we could say the rest of the world way.
Almost, yeah.
Most of the world does it like that. The tipping, I still think I struggle with the tipping. Like I still have this habit. If you're from Germany, let me know when you tip and how much you tip. Because I think I've heard like the 5 to 10%. I've heard some people just don't tip at all. If you get takeout, do you tip?
I mean, we tip as well, but in the US, between 20 and 30% is not unheard of. And I think here, if the service is bad, nobody tips 25 or 30%.
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay, point number 5 is a quick one. You know how the US is such a car-based culture, right?
Yeah.
If you want to go anywhere, you basically have to take a car. And especially when the weather is nice and when we lived on the countryside, you almost every day asked me if we can go on a bike ride. And I think especially over the last 2 years, there's a huge bike boom in Germany. Even before that, people love to ride their bicycles everywhere. You're becoming one of these people.
I love it. Like, I hardcore love it. When we were with your family, they had e-bikes and those are so fun to ride.
Yeah.
But now that we live in a city, we don't have a car and we just have peasant bikes, ones that you have to pedal.
E-bikes.
You have to pedal
Human-powered
yourself.
bikes.
But I still love it. And I think what's amazing is the infrastructure has bike lanes and bike paths.
Better.
Yeah, it's so good here compared to the US where you have these narrow roads with barely a side strip for bikers or even walkers or just the cars to scoot off on the side. I like it and I want to utilize the biking. But it is pretty German if the sun is out to go on a bike ride. Everyone and their mother.
We think, let's go on a bike ride, we're special, and then thousands of people on the ride. Point number 6, also I think is very German. Is it, I don't know if the stingy is the right word, but you're very thoroughly dividing the trash. I think even more so than I am.
I was wondering where you're going with that. Yeah, I mean, my family always recycled when I was younger and growing up. I like how in Germany you're required to.
Yeah.
And there's facilities to take it and encourage the recycling. I really like it, and I think you should recycle.
I am recycling. It's just funny. Sometimes when like a piece of plastic lands in the paper thing and you see it, you come to me and you're like, that's not the right box.
I think
Put it into that one.
That's living with your family, though.
Sinner.
Your dad does that too.
Yeah.
He'll like sort through the trash all the time.
So trash dividing, very German. Next point, number 7, is Pfand.
Pfand.
Pfand, when you said Pfand?
Pfand.
Yeah, we have this little deposit on each bottle or each can that we're buying at the supermarket, most of them. You love to bring it back. We gather it and you bring it back. I feel like in the beginning of Germany, it was so exciting to you, like it was one of your hobbies.
I just like when the apartment is clean and not full of empty bottles, so I really like emptying our apartment and to bring it out. But we don't have a lot of fun to begin with. Like, I think we have maybe like 10 bottles max a month.
You just mentioned that very German problem. I think you can't just throw it away, so you have to store it somewhere.
Yeah, and I think it's good to have the option for people to return it because I think in the US you can return your cans for like some cents or whatever, but it's not easy to do so.
Yeah.
Like here, they're at every supermarket.
You just love
a fun
those
thing.
machines.
Yeah, that's a fun machine.
You see your high score going up and then you get 225.
I wonder what the maximum fund has ever been in one go, because I think the max we've ever done is like €4 or something.
Yeah,
like we don't get that much at a time.
We don't have that much.
But we have family members who've gotten like 60 euros back because they just wait until the last minute.
If you're German, what was your biggest fun time?
I'm so curious.
Overall. Point number 8, a quick one. You know the German windows, right?
Yes, I'm familiar.
So, very German thing is lüften, the apartment lüften, airing out the apartment. Because we don't have aircon like in the US. In the US, I feel like you barely ever open the windows because it would just screw with your air system. And here we don't have that, so we have to open the windows.
Well, also in the US, especially the Southeast, you have a ton of mosquitoes and bugs and annoying animals that come in. So.
Oh, the bees are coming soon though in Germany.
Yeah, it's good to air it out. This guy also farts a lot, so it's nice to like that fresh breeze in there. Am I right? Am I right?
Point number 9 is going to be you are more and more embracing the health insurance, I think. You know how Germany has mandatory health insurance, you pay a monthly fee, but then everything is included. There's no way around it. I think it's the way better system. You're still not like a doctor runner, which a lot of Germans I think are. Like it's almost national sport to run to the doctor. You know, it goes hand in hand with the complaining, like, oh, whatever. But I hear you more and more say like, oh, I can do risky things. Like I can run across the street without looking. I'm on health insurance.
Yeah, it's more of like a bit because I have German health insurance. I'm covered. Like I don't have to worry.
That makes no sense. Like, do you want to get injured just because it's free?
It's a joke. You don't have to hit a deductible of like $5,000 or like $2.5 grand before anyone even starts to cover your in-network provider, blah, 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 America.
See, back to the complaining about US things. Very German.
No, but I've really only been to the doctor like 3 times here. I got blood work done.
We should make some appointments. You should be looked up.
We should be making more appointments for me. I need to go to every specialist here.
And point number 10 that I notice all the time with you nowadays, maybe before too, you are trying to be so freaking punctual.
Bruh. This is a German stereotype that this man does not fit. You do not fit.
Yes, I do.
No. We will fight to this one. I feel like you start to develop your punctuality in high school when you meet up with friends at like restaurants or movies, or just like you start living your own life. And I was always the person 5 to 15 minutes early. I have friends in high school that we like knew who was late and who was early. And you are not that person. You are the person who starts to get ready at the time we're supposed to meet up.
No, that's not true.
It is true. I'm always waiting on you.
Only with my family. With family, you don't need to be that punctual, you know? We're having food later and then you come and you know it's in 2 hours. It doesn't matter if you're 15 minutes late. I think I'm pretty punctual when it comes to official things or anything else. But with family, yeah, I'm a little late. But again, very German. You start complaining then. We're supposed to be at your sister's in 4 minutes and you haven't even brushed your teeth.
Yeah, why haven't you brushed your teeth then?
That's
Prepare
so German.
for the time. No, that's not German. It's an individual personality trait, and it really bothers me that you're
That's how a German would argue.
No, this is, you can't just throw German on
Everything is German.
No. That's one of the things I've learned, just patience a little bit, like whatever, let it roll if we're a little late.
I think I'm still a punctual person.
No, I'm just more punctual.
Stereotype. It's yeah, that's a stereotype.
It is a stereotype you don't fit.
Anyway, those were the 10 German things that I think Deana is doing more and more and more over time since we've been living here for like more than 2 years now.
It's natural to like acclimate to the environment you're in.
Becoming the better version of yourself.
You're gonna get cancelled.
Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video.
Yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.